My top 6 comes out as Andre Burakovsky with Connor Bedard and Ryan Donato. Frank Nazar with the wings of Tyler Bertuzzi and Teuvo Teravainen. Jason Dickinson with Ilya Mikheyev and Oliver Moore. And then I have Lukas Reichel with Nick Foligno and Landon Slaggert. For those interested, my next ups in the extras category, Sam Lafferty, Dominic Toninato, and Colton Dach.
Okay.
So going through this process, it was, a lot of like, okay, how do I think that these players will pan out through training camp, and what kind of opportunities are going to be open? And we talk a lot about this season with, the young players coming in, the roster competitions in training camp, and we've kind of touched on it in the forwards group. There's really only 3 or 4 spots.
Yeah.
When you look at it, at least to start in training camp, there's only that many spots that you'd say are kind of up for open competition. That top 6 feels like that's probably what it's going to be.
I agree.
And
you can mix and match it.
Yeah.
But it feels like those 6 guys.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't sound super sexy with Burakovsky and Donato with Connor Bedard, but honestly, that might be the best wing duo he might have had since he's been here, as far as the type of player, and at least with Burakovsky's been to 2 cup, or has won 2 cups. He's got an opportunity to kind of maybe get back to some form, and Ryan Donato's coming off a career year. Outside of putting Connor Bedard with Bertuzzi and Teravainen, which just doesn't seem like they're going to do that.
And then you've got one line.
Yeah.
And then Frank Nazar. Then you got Frank Nazar playing with
Donato and Burakovsky.
Yeah, right.
I think that top 6 group feels like that's how it's going to start and probably finish training camp.
I basically agree with you, but I think to start, they'll go a little more veteran. I think you're right that Reichel's going to get kind of the first chance to lose the job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they need to figure out what the hell they have in Lukas Reichel. And we've been patient. We say players develop at different rates and all those, but if Lukas Reichel doesn't show something in the first 20, 25 games, it's beyond time to move on. Like, if you've not gotten the message at this point, because then we'll be, 2.5 years removed from those last few games of the season where he looked like a thing.
That 12-game stint that was
Yes.
like, oh, yeah, that's the guy. And
that 12-game stint has probably bought him
a lot of
another year and a half of,
lot,
we saw it a little bit.
Well, and then it was, okay, it's, what was it? Kurashev, Reichel, and Athanasiou had some chemistry,
right.
And like let's let that line play out, and then Athanasiou got hurt. Oh, that hurts Reichel. It's just okay. Well,
and then Kurashev was a nothing burger last year.
Then you got to be Then I think at that point, then you got to be able to be a guy that potentially can make things happen on your own. And I think Lukas Reichel, he has that skill. It just has not translated consistently enough. And I think this offseason, he's put in a lot of work. More work than I think maybe he's done in previous off seasons, at least more pointed work on specific things. He's been in the weight room, as we've seen on social media. And as he said, going into the off season at the end of last year, he was going to go into more like strategic training and working on specific things rather than maybe just general training of, bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. So I hope that all gets put, into practice once we get to training camp, and we see a, much like with Connor Bedard, like a different version of him. I hope we see an improved, different version of Lukas Reichel. And for me, more realistically, yes, I believe Sam Lafferty is probably going to be that 4th line center guy, at least to start the year. But I'm rooting for Lukas Reichel to override that.
That'd be great.
And if Oliver Moore, where I have him right now on that 3rd line with Dickinson and Mikheyev, if Oliver Moore is not in that position, then I want Lukas Reichel to earn that spot.
Yeah.
Because being a 4th line center for Lukas Reichel, I don't think is a good spot.
No,
he's
got to
be
Smith and Pat Maroon did not help his development at all.
He's got to be more than that. I will say though, for his mentality of playing alongside those guys, especially Pat Maroon, and getting kind of, it put into his brain of like the small habits and what will continue to be put into his brain through Jeff Blashill is the little, doing the little things right, the fundamental approach, not cheating the game, like all young players, but I think especially Lukas Reichel, from the messaging we were kind of getting last season with the players he played with and what the coaches were hoping to get out of him. I hope that sets in, because if it does, then those are some of the things that are going to make him a better all-around player, because we know he can be offensively talented, but it's just he's not at the level of you can skate by just being an offensive threat. No. We haven't seen it from him. So if you can be responsible defensively, the small habits, not trying to overstick handle and turning a puck over, being smarter of dump and chase, being harder when you go into board battles, being stronger with the puck on your stick or getting it back from the opponent. Like, if he can be more consistent with that, that's going to make him an even more effective player, and then the offense can hopefully translate from there.
I think the concept of playing him with Maroon and Smith last year, you can see what they were trying to do. You're trying to pound into his brain responsible hockey.
Yeah.
And the thought would be, we're going to put you with two guys that play the game responsibly, and you're going to learn from playing with them what you need to do. But I do think also, like, these guys they're professionals, and Lukas Reichel is fully aware of his status with this team and with the organization. And you don't think at some point last year Lukas Reichel looked at his stat sheet and was like, I have not put up enough points at all. I need to score more. And like, so I think you need, what bothered me about the Maroon and Smith thing was, are you putting him in a position that suits his abilities? No. With Smith and Maroon, he was not. And it almost felt like, and look, we have praised Jeff Blashill for his verbal commitment to accountability and earning your spots and earning your opportunities. And you could argue, of course, that Lukas Reichel did not earn an opportunity beyond the fourth line. But at the same time, you have to look at it fairly and say you're getting a guy who is basically, even if he reaches the defensive responsibility, air quotes, you want him to reach, he's probably still a 65-35 offensive to defensive player.
Sure.
You want him to just be like, hey, man, don't hurt us defensively. Go be fast, go be creative, but just don't hurt us when you're out there.
Right.
You took any ability for him to add offense or to capitalize off the offensive ability of a teammate at all last year. And look, we all know Pat Maroon has fantastic hands. It got him that far in his career because his hands were that good, but he was one of the slower players in the league, if not the slowest.
How dare you?
Craig Smith, a great fourth line character guy, does everything the right way, great example for young players. Craig Smith did everything the Hawks wanted him to do and more when he was healthy. But it's just they never put Reichel in the spot to make him gain that confidence and gain that, okay, I can do this, okay, I belong here. Because I feel like every game that went by with him stuck on the fourth line, he probably lost confidence and lost confidence and lost confidence. And there were certainly opportunities last year where you could have given him a stretch of games in the top six,